Good morning, Daily Dosers. Chris here, coming to you from Los Barriles, Mexico, where I am chaperoning my daughter's graduation trip with her and 4 of her friends. I am sitting in some much-needed shade because it is sweltering hot out there. This structure in front of me will bring some much-needed shade to the people that gather here. We'll get to that in a moment. I first of all want to read a little parable and a little story of Jesus just to encourage you, maybe some conviction, but for the vast majority of you at North Coast, I hope this just encourages you. Jesus just got done telling the crowd, watch out for every sort of greed. And then he told them a parable in Luke 12, verse 16, saying, the land of a certain rich man was very productive. He began reasoning to himself, saying, what shall I do since I have no place to store my crops? And he said, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to tear down my barns and build larger ones, and there I will store all my grain and my goods. And I will say to my soul, soul, you have many goods laid up for many years to come. Take your ease, eat, drink, and be merry. But God said to him, you fool, this very night your soul is required of you, and now who will own what you have prepared? So this is the man who lays up treasures for himself and is not rich towards God. I've always loved this parable of Jesus, but today, sitting in the shade of this building, I love it even more. Shade and a place to gather and something cool is a necessity of life out here on the Baja Peninsula. And I love this story that Jesus told because he talked about how easy it is, especially for us Americans who have a lot of wealth, to get to a place and say, man, I'm going to store up, I'm going to save up, I'm going to have all my funds, all my retirement. I want to make sure my life is going to be great. Not just good, not just okay, but great before I take care of anything or anybody else. And he goes, this is the rich fool in the Bible. We just did a little daily dose talking down in the arroyos here in Baja, Mexico, and how we don't build our house upon the sand, but upon the rock. And today it's just about another step looking at what do we do with our riches? What do we do where we are people that live in houses that are far better built than anything around here? And yet I said, I want this to be an encouragement today because this is the church right here in Baja. This is for one service where the English-speaking congregates meet. This is then where for the next service in Spanish they meet. And behind these doors right here in this church is where they watch our messages from North Coast. And the Spanish service watches the messages from our Spanish venue. But some months ago, we told you guys, hey, they need help building a place. They're outgrowing that little green box behind us, and that thing just becomes an oven sweltering inside. And because of some buckets at the door, even though the shade isn't done yet, you have built this incredible building. There's 2 children's classes behind there, actually 3 behind there in a little kitchenette. They have incredible bathrooms and some of the best public bathrooms anywhere in Los Barriles. For caballeros, for of course the gentlemen and damas. And then you have this incredible sanctuary. It's locked right now, I can't get you inside. But it's all air conditioned. It can seat about 175 to 200 people. It is beautiful. And this is what they had before. And I just want to encourage some of you that get this. Some of you that get, man, none of us can say, well, I got life taken care of for me and my generations. And yet we get what Jesus goes, let me tell you, the rich fool in the Bible is the guy who spends everything on himself. And someone who is not rich towards God. Now get that word. He goes, here's the problem. I want people that are rich towards God. Not that tip a little, not that give a little. People that are rich, generous toward others. In North Coast, I am so proud to be part of this church. Not just what you guys do down here, but in so many countries and all across our community service stuff. You continually are applying a word of God that says, let's not make it about me. Yes, of course, I love this area of Baja because of the beautiful seas out there, because of this little bay that Los Barriles sits on with crystal clear flat water. But my heart grows even more when I visit what used to be the only English-speaking and the only evangelical church, and I see what you guys have done with buckets at the back door. It was because of your generosity. I just want to encourage Daily Dosers, never ever look at your finances and go, wow, it's all about me. Find the areas, the places, the churches, the giving, North Coast, where you can go, where are we rich towards God? Not that I give a little, not that I tip God when I have extra, but can I stand before God and open my financial portfolio and say, God, I don't know if this is what I'm supposed to do, but here's the pages and pages where I was rich towards you and your kingdom. Because one weekend, buckets at the door, I see the difference that it made right here in Los Barriles.